Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Special occasion this week as we celebrate 40 years here at the Fitchburg Senior Center. And I have one of our past directors of the Senior Center, Sue Sheets. Double S just throws me off every time. Hard to say that fast, Sue. Thank you for coming in and being on the show here. We've had a chance to talk a little bit about your role at the senior center, but that's today. We are going to talk about the time that you were the director, the third director, in fact, at the senior center, and we start with. The beginning there of your time, 1987. Take us back to what you got into.
Okay, first, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Well, when I first began in 1987, the Senior Center was held, or I mean, the activities at the Senior Center were held in the old City Hall, which is farther south on Fish Hatchery Road. And the activities only took place on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We had meals and activities 3 days a week, as I said, Tuesday,
Mm,
Wednesday, Thursday. Um, and then they also had cards and bingo and entertainment. They had singers, blood pressures were taken, things like that, but not anything like the programs that are offered now that kind of grew over time. Um, okay.
and being at that city hall was definitely a lot smaller than it is over here and
Oh my
stuff. But
goodness.
how was being 3 days a week? I mean, the space issues must have been very tight
They
to be
were, and
running
in
programs.
fact, interestingly enough, when there was an election, we couldn't meet there because that's where the
Sure.
voting machines were set up. But we worked around each other, and it was good for that time.
Absolutely, and you said just 3 days a week meeting.
Hmm.
What were some of those activities? Any of those that carry out to today?
Well, cards, of course. Seniors like to play cards. Bingo, same way. Um, Occasionally, they have entertainment now. They'd have somebody in to sing or play the piano or the guitar or anything like that. They also had exercise a couple days a week, so that's a good thing. There was a group that, well, they're still the Fitchburg Singers, and that group was going way back in the even before '87 when I went there.
Wow.
Um, and just, lots of things that seniors like to do.
Absolutely, and a lot of those carry through today. In
They
fact, all of
do.
them do. So then you transition in. You get this group that's very interested in what the senior center is doing, and you guys end up moving over here to what is now. Well, you guys were here first, the community center, senior center.
Right, right. And I have to say, there was a group of seniors that are no longer here anymore that were very instrumental in getting the community senior center because they realized that there were needs that seniors had that couldn't take place in that cramped area as well as having to work together with other programs. And so it happened, and the new building was built in '88. That's when we moved in, and quite a change.
I would
Quite a
say
change.
what I think is really awesome that the group came up with is the multi use of that space, and that holds strong to today.
Yeah, well, actually, to be perfectly truthful, that group wanted a senior center. But the city was more thoughtful about it and
Hmm.
said, for the cost of the building, we need to make it a multi purpose building, and it certainly has worked out well.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah. Go over to that side of the building even before getting down the senior center, and there's always classes and stuff going on.
absolutely.
Which again, it's going back to when you got started. So, um, as far as things started to grow over in the building, what were some of the things that you started to develop in the with the extra space and moving forward?
Well, at that time, when until '88, no, I'm sorry, until '90, I was an outreach case manager, kind of like the ones that we have now, the two
Hmm.
social workers. And my job was to assess needs of older people and help connect them to services that help them to stay in their homes rather than having to go into nursing homes or assisted living and that kind of thing. So I wasn't really involved at that point in developing programs. But after we moved over here, then we had a lot more room and availability of the building. And then we started developing more programs. And one of them was multiple different kinds of exercise. And that was great. And taking on book clubs and just a myriad of things. And Jill has even gone farther. Jill, our present senior center director.
Absolutely. Do you think from the advocating days to where we are today, is that some of that similar to today, and some of the things that you were advocating for or for helping seniors transpired into the programs and stuff that you have at the senior center?
That's right, absolutely. And it's interesting because not only is it up to the senior center director, but the people themselves that come to the senior center to come up with some activities and programs that they would like to do. And there's many examples of that. For instance, some of the book clubs. I'm also thinking of mahjong and
Sure, sure.
things that we certainly didn't have years and years ago. And there's also the ukulele group.
Love the
And
youth group.
that was started by one of the seniors that wanted to share her ability with other people. And I believe they have at least 40 members now in that. So, the people that enjoy the services of the senior center also come up with ideas, and they serve as the people who run them, the volunteers.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And great programming today. And I think what was your message as a director once you were in the director's role? What was your message to getting people into the doors, getting them into the senior center?
Well, the senior center isn't just a place to play cards and bingo. It's a place to come and meet friends, to participate in activities that help you stay younger, longer, and that kind of thing. So a senior center isn't for old people. It's for people that are getting up in the years, staying young.
Right, it's active. I think
Right.
if there was something that to me from working here that I've learned is how active it is in a slowdown.
Absolutely
It's a
not.
place to be active, keep the mind sharp, get involved, volunteer. It means so much.
Absolutely. And volunteering is a big thing too. I can't remember how many volunteers there are now, but it has grown just really to a big number. And it's good for people to be able to volunteer because they feel that they're doing something important. And, you know, it takes you out of yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you walk in the doors now and see where things are, how does that make you feel? We're 40 years now. I mean, how's that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel really glad that I was able to help bring the senior center along and to hand it over to Jill, who has really made it an excellent place. I just feel a lot of, not necessarily pride, but just glad that it is doing well, very well.
When you turn the so-called keys over to Jill, what was your advice to her then?
Well, I have to say, Jill and I worked for 9 years together, and I became aware that she had a lot of ability and skills that she would make a good senior center director. And so I tried to help her learn the ropes. And I just said, you know what to do. Go with the flow.
That
And
that's the best advice, isn't
she went beyond the flow.
it? She is something else. Has done a great job.
Hmm.
Sue, thank you so very much for coming in and doing this. Look forward to hearing a little bit more coming up on Thursday with the speeches and stuff. But appreciate the time and congratulations on 40 years and being a part of it. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, that is Sue Sheets, former director of the Fitchburg Senior Center. We continue the celebration all week long here on Talking Fitchburg. We'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.